Good morning, my dear Yarn Wars friends. This is Colleen, and again with yarnwars.com. And today we're working on a pattern that I have just recently designed. It's called the Venetian scarf. And there are actually a couple different ways, several different ways you can work this. This particular one I worked long. I did it long rather than another one that I started on, actually, that is going to be a smaller. We're going to be working from the smaller up, the length of it. So this one I did with 119 chains, and it goes just enough. You'll see, you've probably already seen it in the pictures. But this is just, it's a really fun kind of scarf. And the way that it works up, it gives you these layers that offer kind of a Venetian blind look, like the Venetian blinds you have on your windows. So I've also made this in different, like I said, you could do this in different fashion. This is a cowl I also worked up with this. And I will have instructions in the pattern where you can make a cowl out of this if you like, a scarf out of it. This is another cowl that I designed with the, these are Bernat Super Value, but it works up so thick and soft, plush. It's really a nice scarf, and it has such a nice dimension to it. So I think you'll really like it. It's really easy. You're going to be working over just a few rows, and then you're going to end up repeating till you reach the end once we get to a certain point. So I'll just go ahead and get you started on it, and then you can grow your scarf on your own. But you've seen the pictures of the ones I've done already. On this tutorial, I will be using the Bernat Super Value stripes, which is a nice alternative to Red Heart if you're a Red Heart user. I find that both of them work up really well. Both the Red Heart Super Saver and the Bernat Super Value, they're very competitive in price, so you're not going to be spending a lot more on this. This particular color is called Meadow Stripes, so it should give us a bit of a striping effect as we go along. This is also very soft. I don't know if you've worked with if you haven't worked with the Bernat Super Value before, the yarn is just a little softer than the Red Heart. So if you have problems with Red Heart because real scratchy feel to it, and let me just say that if you are using Red Heart, if you're a beginner and you're just really kind of off put by that scratchy feel of the yarn, it really softens up after a wash. So I do want to let you know on that, as this does as well. But we're going to go ahead and get started on this. And for this pattern, and you can really use pretty much with a lot of other patterns as well. You can use whatever hook size you want for this, but that's going to determine your width of your scarf and size all around. So I am using a J hook for this one, if you can see that. And apparently it's not going to focus in on me today, on these things. So my apologies. This is a J hook. Not real important that you see the J on that. Snippers. Some scissors so that you can hide in tails at the end. So you're not going to need that right away unless you're actually changing colors on your own. And then hiding tails also, you'll want a tapestry or a blunt needle. And that is all you're going to need in your yarn. So how we start with this, we're taking our J hook. We're going to create a slip knot. So a slip knot is really easy, and I think that my focus issue is the other scarves, the other colors in the background. I was trying to grab that focus there. I'll get them out of the way. A slip knot is really simple. I see a lot of people making it a little harder than it needs to be, but you just wrap it around. You can just literally wrap it, cross over, and put the yarn up the back. and then just pull that loop through like that, or pull it through with your hook, however. It's really simple to do. So we're going to go ahead and get started with our chain of 21. This one I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be working the shorter rather than the 119 chains, rather than working the scarf in length. Just because I had seen with another Bernat I was working on, this was actually leftover yarn, but I like how it's working that stripes up there. So I want to have that same effect for this one. So we've got 21 chains. We'll go ahead and make. Start. You want an odd number of chains because we want to be working an even number of stitches. So for this one, our even number is going to be 20. Now, one of the tricks that I like to do so that I don't have that starting chain, and I didn't do this on some of the other ones, but some of the my starting chains, I will work that back spine so that I have a nice start to my project as well as finish. It's going to look just like my finish. So we're going to work into the second chain from the hook, or the second spine from the hook. So I've got one spine, I've got two spine, and we're going to work a half double crochet into that spine or chain, whatever's easiest for you. I just like how this finishes when I work it into the spine, and I do have a video that shows that as well. And we're going to work a half double crochet down the line, so when you complete this round or row, you will have a total of 20 stitches on your project. So that will be our magic number, is 20. And you want to keep that pretty consistent through your project so that you're not having your project lean in anywhere or distorted in any fashion. So just go down your line and work it either into your chains or into that back spine. And I'll show you just quickly again before I let you continue and finish those 20 stitches that if you're working into the spine, we're working into that little bump on the back of this. Okay, so we're going to yarn over, we're going to put our hook through that back spine. We're going to yarn over and pull through, and then we're going to yarn over and pull through all three for a half double crochet. Continue down this row, and when you've finished, we will get ready. So here we have our completed second row. 20 half double crochets is what you'll end up with when you've completed this. Another thing you can do if you're familiar with the foundation half double crochet, and I like to do that as well, you can work 20 foundation half double crochet as your starting foundation for this. Now we're going to move on to row 3, where we are going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we're going to turn our work towards us and around to the opposite side. Okay, we are going to skip our first stitch and work a double crochet into this second one right here. So you're going to yarn over, insert your hook into that second one, yarn over and pull through. We're going to yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, and then we're going to chain 1. We're going to skip our next one. We're going to work another double crochet into the next stitch. We're going to insert our hook, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, and then chain 1. You're going to repeat this pattern down the line. We're going to skip every other stitch. So we're going to skip this next one, work a double crochet into this next one, and chain 1. Skip the next one, work a double crochet into our next stitch, all the way down the line. When you've completed this, you're going to have 10 boxes created Make sure to chain one after each double crochet made, because that makes up for that stitch that we're skipping. We want to keep a total of 20 stitches through this project for each of our rows. Skip one, work in the next one, and then we're getting down to the end here. You're going to chain one, and then, whoops, lose my hook. Then we're going to skip this, and we're going to work our last one into our last stitch down at the end of this, possibly. And I want to go into the actual stitch of it. I'm going to have to look outside of the camera. So we're going to go into that stitch and work our last double crochet. And you won't chain one at the end. Not yet, we're not going to chain up. So we've got a total of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 boxes. And then our 10 chains, chain ones, gives us 20. So for row 4, we are going to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3, and then we're turning our work again towards us to the opposite side. We're going to work a half double crochet right into this chain space. So you're going to yarn over, go into that chain space, just right into that space, pull through, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. And then we are going to chain 1. So we're going to be doing the same thing down the line, only we're going to be working in the chain spaces this time. 1 half double crochet and a chain 1. So half double, chain 1, half double, chain 1, all the way down. So we are creating again 10 boxes and 10 chain 1s at the end of this row. Okay, so when we get to the end of this row, we are going to work our last, we've done our chain 1, and we're going to work our last half double crochet into the 3rd chain of that starting 4. So just work, count up to your 3rd chain, and go ahead and work a half double crochet right into that. Now, here's how you know if you're on track. For the count that we're doing, we started with a chain of 21, and we're working basically because we worked into the 2nd chain from the hook. We have a total of 20 stitches that we're working. So you should maintain that 20 stitches for each row. You should have 10 blocks right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you should have 10 chain 1s with those blocks, so that gives you 20, and then you'll have 10 blocks up here as well. 2, 3, just one moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 blocks, and a chain 1 with each of those, giving you 20. Okay, so we've just finished with our row 4, and now we'll move on to row 5. So row 5 is quite a bit different, and your first round of doing this is going to be probably the most awkward, just because there's a couple places in it that are a little tight, but it's actually very simple. And once you get this down, you're going to be speeding right through this. It's really not tough. But what you're going to want to do is we are going to chain only 1 to start row 5. Now this very first chain up here, we are going to be working a back post double crochet into. So after we've chained our 1, we're turning our work, and we are going to be working behind. And this is where it's going to get just a little bit awkward in your, in the stitching. And so this very first one right here, we're going to yarn over. And I find that it's easier to just come back like this, to flip your work like this for the first couple, and just grab that yarn, pull through, and then yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So we've worked a back post double crochet around this very first post here. Now we're going to skip this first half double crochet right here, and we're coming right over to this second post and working another back post double crochet. So yarn over, flip it if you need to, and come into, behind, and around that post. Yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And you want to make sure that you end your stitch so that you're up right here, right above the top of this last row. So the double crochets, the back post double crochets, we are working around the double crochets from 2 rows back. After we've completed our second back post double crochet, we're going to yarn over, and then we're going to come around to the front here, and we're going around that front. We're going to front post double crochet around this half double crochet. So we yarn over and we'll pull through, and then we're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, and then that was our front post. We're coming next to our back post. So we're now going to be alternating. The only time you're going to work those back posts right together there is that first segue into that this row. So we're going back and we're doing a back post double crochet around the double crochet from 2 rows back. So we just did this one here, and now we're coming over here to work a front post double crochet around this half double crochet. And this is the pattern for this row. So we're coming back now. We're going to work our back post double crochet. And it really will, excuse me, it will get much easier. After, I would say, this first round of the pattern, you're going to be used to doing this, and it's not difficult, just a little awkward, as with any back post, front post project. But it's just the start of this row that going into that very first post that can get you a little bit twisted up there. But even that's pretty simple. And once you start doing this, you're not going to have any problem at all. So I'm going to try to make it here to the end of this row. If I can get myself some more yarn. And hopefully I've been clear enough as to what we're doing with this. This is the back post. So I'll do another real quick slow motion. Now I'm coming to the front post on this half double crochet. And now I'll do this slow one more time. So we're going around the back of this double crochet. So we yarn over. We're going to come in and through. We're going to yarn over and grab that yarn through and pull through the back. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2 for a back post. And then we're going to go directly into yarn over, into and around the front of our half double crochet from the previous row. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And as you notice, unlike the last 2 rows that we did, we are not doing any chaining between our stitches. When you've completed this, you will have worked 20 stitches. Okay, so we've got one more back post. Oops. And one more front post. Okay, so the way we end this row is we are just going to work a double crochet into our second chain up right there, into the chain on the end. So yarn over, go into that second chain up, yarn over, pull through two, pull through two. We've completed row 5. Okay? So you notice this on the end comes over a little bit over here, and you're going to see how that all pulls together. At the end of this project, everything is going to be so straight on both ends. It really works out well. So don't worry about how that is right now, because I'll show you right now in this row how that's all going to work itself out. Okay, so for row 6, we are going to chain just 1. We're going to turn our work, and we're going to work a half double crochet right into the very first stitch. So we're going to work a half double crochet right there, and a half double crochet into each stitch following. Sorry, I'm doing this through the camera, as I usually do, and it always messes me up. So you're going to go down the line and work your half double crochets, and I'm just going to, if you want to pause this to until you get closer to the end, go ahead and do that. I'm just going to get down there as quick as I can so that I can show you what we're going to do at the end. Because this is actually non-conventional on the end part of this as well. How we finish this row. But once you've done the sets of these 4 rows that we just continuously do, you're just going to get into this pattern. Okay, so we've reached what is, or what looks like our end. Looks like a little bit of a mess, doesn't it? This right here, I'm going to put a little thing in here, a little hook. This is our last stitch right in there. So we're going to go ahead, and it's not our last, it's our second to our last. We're going to go ahead and work a half double crochet into that. It's just not something that you see right off the bat there. And in just a moment, when I free my yarn from under the wheel of my chair, I can show you how we're going to end this. When you get to the end, we have 2 loops. And I show this in the picture diagram, but if you're watching the video, it's a little easier to see. This is our half double crochet loops right here. These loops are our half double crochet. So we've got 2 loops at the end. We got this one and this one from the previous row. Okay, we are actually going to go down into that, yarn over, pull through, and work our last half double into that. So yarn over, go down into this loop, and then into the next loop. And this is not hard at all. Your hook should slide right in there. Yarn over and pull through. Yarn over and pull through all 3. And that finishes off that round or row. So see how nice and straight this is? And this is what we're doing to give you a really nice straight edge on both ends of your scarf. And it's going to work up this way every time if you're going in and closing off at that same one. Now, if you prefer, you can just, you know, you can find a loop to work that last one into, but I have found that this makes it so nice on the end. And I'll show you in a moment with another scarf that I've done that, that just has a really nice finish to it all around. So once we get to the end of row 6, we are just repeating rows 3 through 6. So that's basically all that we're doing with this. I'm going to show you real quick. This is our first little overhang or eave or little blind, and which is why I'm calling it the Venetian scarf, because it just has the look. When you're finished, you have just a bunch of these, and it just really has the look to me of the Venetian blinds for your windows. But once you reach the end of row 6, you're going to start over again at, like I said, number 3, row 3, by chaining 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to turn your work, and then we're going in to not this one, but the second one right here with a double crochet and then a chain 1. So we do a double crochet, chain 1. And don't forget your chain 1, because it does make a difference. So we're skipping this one, going into this one with a double crochet and a chain 1. Doing the same thing all the way down this row like we did for the last row, for row 3 when we did that before. And I'd like to try to get through one more set of this so that you can see, but then once I get through this next set, you are on your own to grow your scarf, because this is all you have to do. And you end the scarf the same way we started. So this is basically row 6. And it really does. It works up pretty quick. Once you know you have your rows down pat, you'll be just fine. And we come right into that last, we skip one, and we come right into that last. Oh, forgot my chain 1. Do not forget your chain 1. Okay. We're going to chain 2. And then we're going to turn our work and start with a half double into that chain space, and then a chain 1. Whoops, half double into that chain space, next chain space, and chain 1 all the way down the line. And don't forget, if you get thrown off and you're not really sure if you're in the right, if you got the right stitch count and all that fun stuff, just count your boxes. When you get through this section here, you should have 10 boxes for both these, both this and the previous row, and 10 chain 1s to go with it. And that will give you a total of 20, or the total number that you are doing for your project. Okay, and then we're going to work into that chain, our very last one. Did I chain 1? Of course I did not. And this is where I always forget to chain 1. Don't forget to chain 1 here. I don't know if this is just me or if you're going to have this problem too, but I always forget to chain 1 right there on the end. And then work my last half double. Then I'm going to chain 1. I'm going to turn my work, and I'm working that back post double into this first chain, or first chain up here, or our first post. Double crochet. Then I'm working a back double crochet around this next post. Okay, then I'm reaching around over here to work a front post double crochet around this half double. And then I'm working down here, again, the back post, continuing down the row, alternating between front post and back post all the way down. And don't try to get too fast there. You might end up slowing yourself down. But when I don't have anything in front of me, like a camera, I can get through this part pretty quick, and I have a feeling you will too. It's really easy. And I just want, like I said, I just want to get through this set one more time with you before I reach the very end of this project. Back. And I do have that one front post left. And then I'm coming down to this second one up. You can get to it. Working my last double into that, rather than into a post. So my last one I won't be working into a post. So the last set, or the last round in this set, are my half doubles. I'm going to chain one, turn my work into this very first stitch right here, half double crochet. No chaining in this as well. You're just going to be working half double crochets in every stitch down, and you should have 20 when you're done. So I'm on 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, halfway there. I like to maybe slow down a little bit. I can get this. There's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Now remember what I said here. It's going to look like you're done. You got 2 more stitches to go. So we're going 19 into this last stitch here. So 19. And then I've got these 2 loops right here, and you'll see them. This one that's coming across here looks like one of the loops. It's not. It's this one here and this one right here, and they'll stick out. You'll see them. But we're going to yarn over, go down into that loop, go down into that loop, yarn over, pull through, and yarn over and pull through all 3. Okay, so this is growing really nicely, and we're going to be doing this all the way up, but you're going to have just these layers after layers after layers. So you want to just continue with that. Like I said, you want to continue working row 3 through 6, and you will end this project on row 6, which is our row of half double crochets all the way down. And when you finish, you have a fabulous scarf. This is really going to be fun, guys, if you have like the Bernat stripes or, you know, a lot of the Red Heart. There's some great yarns that you could be using. The Unforgettable is wonderful for this project. It just turns out really pretty and cozy, just like all of these will. It's a pretty thick pattern as well, so it'll be nice and warm for winter. But go ahead and finish growing your scarf, and I'll meet you back in a little bit. Okay, guys, I'm back, and I have to admit I've gotten a little crazy with all of this. I have 2 on the hook right now. I got a little addicted to this pattern and just making a bunch of them. But this is the finish to my scarf, and I love how it's turned out. And hopefully you can get a good idea. But, you know, you can make it a really, really long scarf if you want. Just, you know, make sure you have 2 of the skeins on hand of the same color, but we really knocked out a few of these, and it's just really a fun scarf pattern. So I really hope you're going to try this out. I think you'll love it. I have this other Bernat stripes color that I've worked up as well, another scarf. And I love the feel of the Bernat Super Saver yarn. But one of my favorites, and one that you've seen in the pictures, and one I think I showed you in the beginning, is this one scarf here, made from the Unforgettable Red Heart yarn. I absolutely love this yarn, and it gives it such a nice plush feel, and it gives it, you know, even kind of more of a dainty look. That yarn is just so fun, in my opinion. So there's a lot of great colors in this. Again, that's Red Heart Unforgettable. And then my stripes, Bernat stripes. But I hope you've enjoyed this today, this video. It will work up pretty quick. I've done these over the last couple of days. I've made a few scarves and working on a couple more. But if you've enjoyed this, I would love to hear your feedback on this either way. If you thought it was hard, if you thought it was annoying, it is a fun stitch though. It has a great look to it when it's done. Looks like Venetian blinds. So my name again is Colleen Hayes with yarnwars.com. I hope you'll come over and visit us at our Facebook group at www.facebook.com/groups/yarnwars. We have a huge community over there, around 23,000 people, and from crocheters and knitters and loomers from around the world. We're all sharing great workups that we've made, getting a lot of support over there, find free patterns on both crochet and knitting, and it's just a fun place to be. A lot of great friends over there. So definitely come and join us over there. You'll also find the printable PDF files for all of my patterns at our Facebook group in the Files tab just below the timeline photo. But you can also go over to yarnwars.com, where you can pull up any of the patterns on the website, and you can subscribe there, be the first to know when new patterns come out, new video tutorials. We have Power Hour projects that we like to put up here and there. Great projects that you can work up in less than an hour. And then, of course, I hope that you'll subscribe here to my channel today if you've enjoyed this video. There's so much more to come, guys. But thanks so much for joining me, and have a wonderful day.